to Vetted from the Super Bowl at Chicky Pizza at the Sahara Casino.
Sahara.
Yeah, Casino, Hotel, and Resort.
Yes, we're big time now,
big
man.
time now.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming in and hit that like and subscribe button. Hit it, Tom.
Sorry.
Thursday at 5.
So we're moving.
We're
We're moving
to-
Thursday to 8.
Yeah,
We're moving
thanks.
Thursday, but here it's
Yeah.
Super Bowl 8. That's
Yeah.
where we're currently at Sahara Hotel.
Yes.
This is beautiful.
It's a beautiful hotel.
Beautiful.
It's apparently it's been remodeled like this is a Sahara or something else, and now
Doing the hotel.
and actually, this is a new announcement for from you. We'll be trying to get to the Trump.
We're going to be
at the Super Bowl
from henceforward.
That's a biblical term. I learned something
from
new
henceforward
on Sunday. From
Yeah.
henceforward.
on Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday morning teaching.
Yes, because we were on Radio Row yesterday, and we noticed some empty spots.
And we
And-
started to Bogart yesterday, but we decided we probably shouldn't because
Yeah,
it might
because-
cause some problems.
Well, yeah, then we were there on somebody else's dime, and we didn't want them to get in trouble. They would have been the one to take the brunt of the blame.
Yes. Yeah,
Thanks. Shout out to Tony Bruno on the Sports Network for allowing us to get on this show and to promote A2D Radio along with Vetted. And we got to see Five. Five will always love you. He looks like he's working out, doesn't he?
He's done. 5 is big, man.
Yeah, but he's
He's bigger than 5.
Okay, so we have to clarify that. Not in the big way we normally
not
used to
sloppy
see it.
big.
Not sloppy big. He looks like he's been working out and pushing around in the gym. And I didn't have that you're jerk type feeling for it. No, because sometimes when you see him, it's like, here we go again with this crap. It's like that family member that you love but you don't like. I liked him yesterday.
Sometimes when you see 5, you don't like him.
Well, no, it's just sometimes the things that he says and then when you listen to some of the stuff that's transpired over the years.
Okay, got you.
He really
it confirms some of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, well, you hear what he's like. He was interviewing Carson Wentz. I hate to bring up bad memories, but Carson Wentz was like, he's like, yeah, you doing it. We didn't think you'd be this good that long. I'm like, wow.
Well, what
In
good
his
memories do we have of Carson Wentz?
Well, this is when we were winning.
Oh,
and
okay.
He
All
did
right.
an interview. I had to be privy that I was in the locker room when he said it. He's like, we didn't think I was going to be that good this quick. I was like, wow. Tell us how you really feel.
Wow.
And it was it was just things like that were said, and I think he's gotten past that now. I think he's gotten past. And a lot of the fans were, because I think a lot of them, including myself, was thinking that he never really got over being booed at the at the draft. And I think he's kind of put that behind him, just off his body language and his aura. And now you didn't get to see this later on that evening, but people who follow me and saw my picture, they was like, did I see T.O. and 5 at the same time? No, I didn't. I caught
They're
T.O.
both here, though.
Yeah, they're both here. But T.O. and T.O. is at the same hotel as me, and I caught him just as he was getting ready to go to like a dinner, because he's a former 49er as well. So it was pretty funny because he
was friendly.
Yeah,
I saw him. He was friendly.
Yeah, that's what. Well, he actually told me I was the only one from the old team that still talk to him on a regular basis. Well, I talked to T.O.
He did kind of implode.
Well,
he helped the team go in the wrong direction.
No, if you look at the whole situation, that was laid at the. And you know how they did you, how you got ousted. It was all laid at Andy Reid and Joe Banner and Howie's feet that they lied to him, and he's a superstar.
Right.
It's like when you lie
to
us the regular players. It's not magnified when the superstar is doing sit-ups in his driveway.
Acting kind of the fool, but that was a little bit extra.
Well, it was a little bit extra. But
yeah.
a lot of people don't know that they kind of fueled the fire where coaches were saying little smart things to him and stuff at training camp. And I was cracking up, dude. It was like
wasn't quite like the O.J. Simpson truck.
No. Yeah, have you seen
O.J. Simpson on the highway? Cameras and helicopters following him.
Well, the funny thing about you saying that is, that there's a video of him trying to sell a white Bronco on a.
Well, he's a good salesman for white Bronco.
And one of his sales.
You want to get away? Drive a white Bronco.
Literally, that was his. That was one of his selling points. Was this is a great getaway car? Ask my boy Al. We had a long ride on the LA freeway.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Well, listen. Shout out to Chicky and Pete's as well. For Pete Jr.
Yes.
Thanks for allowing us to be here in this great facility. We had some great food the other day. Got to come here and try the fries. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's sin. It's almost like sin.
The barbecue wings were sin. I destroyed 12 of those things. I ate 4 down here, and I was laughing because Irving's counterpart, his better half, she saw my wings and her eyes lit up, and I quickly drew my fork.
He sure did. Because he's going to chop my wife's hand off.
Well, because you don't just reach your hands on the big dog plate. They clearly said, order what you desire, order what you want. So it was pretty cool. I pretty much ate her every day.
You did? Wow.
Oh yeah, pretty much ate her every day. So
well, listen, we've had a couple of weeks now. Everybody's interpretation of what's going to happen or what has already happened during the season and the playoffs. Everybody's giving their predictions. They're telling why, the comparisons. It's go time now.
Yes, it is.
It's done. It's game time. None of that stuff matters anymore. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what the stats say. It doesn't matter what the analytics say.
Yep.
It's go time. You got to get on the field and you got to make it happen.
Yes. And the funny thing, I was going to ask you this question, and I thought about it when I was upstairs getting ready to come down for the show. When you guys went to the Super Bowl, do you remember your morning preparation for that day?
Panic. I think we overemphasized, and that was a big part of the problem for us. We were really stiff at the beginning of the game and weren't able to just flow with the game and how the game turned out or began to turn out at the beginning of the game.
Right.
And we got behind before we knew it. We dropped balls, we fumbled balls, we missed tackles.
But initially you guys came out and you had to leave for a brief second.
3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 to nothing.
It was downhill from there. But it's interesting that you bring that up because I was thinking about that this morning. It's a great thing for teams to get to the Super Bowl. We're looking at Kansas City, who's back 2 years in a row. We're looking at the 49ers, who were here 4 years ago against Kansas City.
It was in 2021 or 2022?
It was 4 years ago.
Okay.
Super Bowl, what's this? 58? It was 54. Super Bowl 54.
Okay.
So they were here. I mean, to get back to the Super Bowl, particularly within
the same core,
few years with the same core, is a feat in and of itself. To get here back to back is a feat, obviously even greater than that. But
what's the greatest feat?
The greatest feat is to win.
I know the greatest feat is to win, but who came to the Super Bowl 4 times and lost in a row?
Well, that's not a great. I mean, it's a great feat. They were the best team in the league during that era because they got back to the Super Bowl. They defied all odds 4 times in a row and lost 4 times in a row. And that's where I'm going with this content right now is that when you get here, you got to win.
You got to make it count.
You got to win because if you lose, it's such. I remember losing that Super Bowl. It's such a bad feeling.
Right.
It's hard to get over.
No.
And it is hard. I see why it's hard for teams who go to the Super Bowl and lose, why it's so hard for them to get back. It's tough emotionally.
Well,
it's
hold on.
tough psychologically.
Now that I have you gabbing like a schoolgirl. Now, when you went to the Super Bowl, you were a rookie. Am I not correct? Correct?
No, my second year.
Your second year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you remember when Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl his rookie year?
Right.
He said that he was like, "Oh, I'm a rookie. I'm going to be back here." Were you saying those same things?
Yeah, of course. Of course, we were saying the same thing. We fell just a little bit short my rookie year, and then we're in the Super Bowl. Wild card team in the Super Bowl. We lost, obviously, but in our minds, mine included, we just assumed
Right.
we had a good enough team. Most of our core was coming back the following year. We assumed we'd be at least in the running the next year. We
Right.
never sniffed a Super Bowl. I never sniffed a Super Bowl for the rest of my career, and I played 17, or I should say 15 more years after that. So yeah, you have to make the most of it. You have to come here and win, because the team that loses, it's such a bad feeling.
It's such a spiral.
It
downward
takes
spiral.
and it's something that, they say time heals.
No, I don't.
There's some things that time just does not heal.
No.
And anyone who has gone to a Super Bowl and lost and really has not had the opportunity to get back and win, they carry that with them.
Yeah.
You never forget. It's always a bad taste.
And it's like, I think the one thing as a young player, when you feel like you're going to get back to that point again, you have no idea this is not high school and this is not college. Those same players and that same camaraderie that you built with those guys is not going to be there.
No,
it's like
we
can't. It was like, and then we came back the year we lost the Super Bowl. I did the same thing I do every morning. I get up, eat bacon, eggs, and biscuits for breakfast, because that's
bacon and eggs and biscuits.
Yeah,
that's bacon and eggs and biscuits.
Yes.
That's bacon and eggs and biscuits.
Yes,
right
it fuels the fire of the tank. It's like I feel funny if I don't get that specific breakfast.
Really?
Yeah, it's brutal. So, and I always feel like I feel like I'm lost in a daze when I don't get that.
Without his bacon and eggs,
without my bacon and
biscuits.
Yes.
Good gracious. Do you put gravy on? I mean, like honey or something on the biscuits? Jelly or jam?
I just like to have my eggs and bacon, and I just eat the biscuits with it. I don't need anything else. I told you I kind of eat like a small kid. A giant small kid. Because I'm not into all that extra stuff that people try to put on and dress up the food. I'm not into that. And since we're on the food,
listen, we got a lot of people.
We got a lot of
that
people
are chiming in right now. Listen, we didn't plan to be on today. We didn't give you a heads up that we were going to be on today, or particularly what time we were going to be on today. We did say that we were possibly going to have the opportunity to come on and to talk to you a little bit while we were out here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of you who are watching right now. We appreciate your support. Thank you everybody so much. Yeah, thank you a lot.
And since we have everybody on, we're talking about food. This is National Super Bowl Sunday Day, and we were talking before we got on the show. And you didn't want to know, but I wanted to know how many chicken wings were ate. 1.45 billion pounds of chicken wings will be consumed today.
Today,
yes.
Wow.
8 million
just
pounds.
Here.
Yeah,
just in Vegas.
Just in the overall, just Super Bowl Sunday. 8 million pounds of guacamole, which people use the chips and fries with their guacamole. So 8.2 million pounds of fries and 11.2 million pounds of corn chips will be consumed.
No wonder Americans are not healthy.
Yeah, and $10.8 billion will be spent on beer.
Good gosh.
That's like 1.238 billion beers will be consumed.
And all of that is a bad combination. All of that's bad. Listen, Tom, can you throw up the question today, the comment? They agreed to disagree. Thank you.
Yes.
The Chiefs will make their claim as an NFL dynasty today.
Well, my prediction.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Because again, they're back.
Yeah, they're back.
They won last year.
Yes.
I mean, you go back with Patrick Mahomes and talk about the whole 2 years ago. They lost the cheetah. They didn't think they would be able to do much because now their number one receiver is gone. Impact player is gone. What did the Chiefs do last year? They come back to the Super Bowl and they win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Then they say, you know what? Don't have a lot of receivers.
Right.
Things are not the way they should be.
But they start gelling at the right time.
They started gelling at the right time. Here they are again.
Yep.
Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes back at the Super Bowl again. You got to take your hats off. You got to bow down to these cats because
I ain't bowing to nobody.
Well, you know what I mean.
I give them their respect. I give them their respect and props like Hammer.
Just illustrated, not literally.
Okay. I'm not even saying it.
Symbolically. You got to take your hats off to them and give them their credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
These cats on this team, and they thought Andy Reid was done with the enemy left last year.
Yeah, I did.
They said, no, they'll never get back. No. What is he? He's right back in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You have a hard time. I have a hard time betting against this team. I tried to do it during the playoffs. Right. They went down to Miami, beat Miami. They went to Buffalo, smashed Buffalo.
Yep.
They went to Baltimore after beating those two teams.
Yep.
Away games, and went to Baltimore and beat the Ravens. Who does that?
Well, the one thing that everybody kept mentioning throughout the playoffs about them is that Patrick Mahomes hadn't won on the road yet. So
Well, he proved that
He
wrong.
proved that wrong, and he handled business. The one thing that I think that people are failing to check out is the fact that he was not mentioned at all in the MVP balloting or race. You mentioned a bunch of guys who were good during the regular season,
Right?
And I was talking to some people. I was like, "There's got a stick in his craw that he was not even mentioned."
Right.
I was like, and then not only that, you keep hearing about the offense of the 49ers, but nobody's talking about you said this about the defense of the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about the cornerback tandem, and then I went and searched it. They're like they blitzed them up. One of them, like in the top 5, they blitzed the most in the NFL, but they're the second in the league in getting sacks in those situations. Getting the quarterback down. That's one of the main things that when you send a blitz, you want to affect the quarterback. And I think it's going to be a really good game. And I picked the over, but I took the Chiefs in picking the over.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be some points scored, and I think they'll find a way to score. But I think you said this has been like 3 weeks, and I keep going back to what you said
3 weeks ago.
About having the better quarterback who make better quality decisions and not listening to the outside people talk about being a pocket passer. Nothing. He does what it takes to win and keep the chains moving.
Right.
And that's what we saw in the playoffs. But then you saw Brock Purdy do the same thing, but this is a different animal than what he was against earlier. The Green Bay Packers, their defense was rated 28. Their defense pretty much got their coach Barry fired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Again, all the analysts, all the talk these last couple of weeks. I turned on the TV this morning, and you can go around in circles and bring out all kinds of information, but it all comes back when it comes to games like this or any game in the NFL, the play of the quarterback.
Yep.
Yes, it does come down to coaching, but it matters who's got the ball in their hand, who's throwing the ball, who's making those decisions when it comes to running that offense. Look, that's Mr. Pete over there. Who's making those decisions?
Yeah, who's making those decisions?
Everybody's talking about the quarterbacks today because that's what it boils down to.
Who you think that they're both practicing? What do you do? You just won the Super Bowl MVP. Where are you going? I'm going to Disney World.
Yes, sir. I'm going to Disney World. And when and I don't care who it is. I don't care who's back there at the QB position. If you put pressure on him and you hit him,
pressure bust pipes.
Yes, you put pressure on him. I've even seen Tom Brady, who is the GOAT.
Yeah.
We've seen him fall apart when he starts getting hit.
Yeah.
When he starts getting a lot of pressure. That happens to any quarterback. And
in the immortal words of Eli Manning, psych, he beat him twice.
Yeah. So I mean,
but now
the Chiefs defense has been able to do that with multiplicity of blitzes, and even when they don't get there. When the quarterback's looking downfield, when Purdy's looking downfield today, he's going to see his receivers blanketed.
Yeah. Shout out to Pete and Pete Jr. for allowing us to be here at this Chicky and Peace at the Sahara Hotel and Casino. But but when you said that when you talk about Tom Brady, those 2 Super Bowls he lost, they had Spagnuolo pressure, and then every quarterback, no matter how good, when you start hitting them, they start getting that clock in their head.
Of course.
And it's like I learned that from I was playing against Dan Marino one time. It's like if your offensive line is getting their ass kicked, then he say you start getting a mental clock in your head, or when you're going to get hit next, you try to get rid of the ball. And it's like but then this hasn't been brought up enough is the fact that Brock Purdy is pretty tremendous under those pressure situations.
Of course,
But it's like
because they have built-in blitz situations offensively, unlike some other teams we know.
We're not going to mention
them.
We're not going to mention our birds. You know what? It's funny. I was watching the interview that Brandon Covey did, and he said pretty much the same thing that we've been saying. There was a lot of finger pointing and a lot of not believing in what the coaches were doing.
Right. Well, you could tell just how the team fell apart.
Yeah, the body language too.
Right. They just fell apart at the end of the season, and you could tell there was some internal things going on.
Right.
That went far beyond the field.
Right.
And when, like you mentioned it earlier, when a team is together, they get to the Super Bowl and they got a certain cohesiveness that's going on, that never lasts for the next year because there are a few changes. So you got to take advantage of it and make the most of it when it's happening. And these two teams are in the moment right now. It's going to be a great game today.
Yeah.
But I still got to go with the Chiefs. Still got to go.
Yeah,
with the Chiefs,
I was going with the Chiefs anyway, but it was.
And when you look at Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid, I mean the 2 quarterbacks, you got to go with Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
The 2 coaches, you got to go with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
He's established himself as one of the greatest coaches ever to coach in the NFL,
especially with that week in between. That's like with that
his
week in
record
between is impeccable.
Yeah.
Having that week in between, I think that's why it's going to be a quality contest because of Kyle Shanahan he's a pretty decent coach.
He'll
But
put up a fight.
yeah, he'll put up a fight. But the funniest thing, and Wilbur Montgomery, is one of my road dogs. Every time we do anything that has to do anything with Kyle Shanahan, he hates Kyle Shanahan because Kyle Shanahan he say he don't do nothing but get quarterbacks hurt. And then at the time, you had to go back and look at RG3. You had to look at Matt Schaub when he was in in Houston.
RG3 was a little more responsible for that because,
but it was
he wouldn't slide.
Right.
He would try to run people over, and this is the pros. You can't do the same thing in college or in the pros that you were doing in college.
Garoppolo, Trey Lance, he's gotten everybody's hurt. Even Brock Purdy
last year.
Mm-hmm. He was saying that it was because of the action that he disrespects the defense a lot because he thinks that action is going to hold anybody. Once they see you on film and they see what you do, that action does nothing but get your quarterback hurt. Because it gets him a hit that he's not expecting.
Here's something I noticed that the 49ers do. I thought it to be true, but then I was up early one morning here because I'm on East Coast time. So I'm waking up at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Join the club and you got jackets.
Going downstairs and sitting in the casino, smoke a cigar and have some coffee. That's what I was doing. I'm watching the screen, and they had the Super Bowl on from 4 years ago, Super Bowl 54. And obviously, it was the Chiefs and the 49ers playing. And I had noticed this before about the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs, but the 49ers. The 49ers, their offensive setup. And this is kind of smart. I have to give Shanahan hats off for this. Shout out to him for this. So when you watch the Chiefs and they set up offensively, from one side of the offensive setup to the other side of the offensive setup, they don't go outside the numbers. They line up somewhere between 19 and 20 yards in their setup. You know, the distance between end to end. Is somewhere between 19. It's not just 19, but it's not quite 20 either. And they do that as far as the setup is the least amount of width out of anybody in the league right now.
Right.
And what that does, you won't see them line up outside the numbers of receivers. What that does is condenses the offensive setup, but it also
gives them more room.
Well, it gives them more room outside, and you see them run the ball a lot outside with McCaffrey and those running backs. But what it does, a defense can't figure out whether or not it's a pass or a run. You know, when they're spread out, most of the time it's a pass.
Right.
So they're condensed, and the defense has to try to figure out. They really have to pay attention to the run because it could be a run, but they pass the ball quite a bit out of those sets. But they never really line up outside the numbers, which is it gives them a lot of room to run routes. It gives them a lot of room to make decisions when the ball when the running back has the ball, whether to cut outside or cut up inside.
But you know what you
it's
do.
Very strategic. I think it is strategic, ingenuitive, and it's kind of ingenious.
Well, but you know what you do to that? You run run blitzes,
right?
And when you run a run blitz,
there's always an answer to it.
Because when you run the run blitzes, those guys who are coming on the run blitz, they don't have any responsibility anay.
Right.
So it's like if you talking about play action,
right?
You play action if you want to,
right?
And somebody gonna be on your back.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I thought you were going with that is how like once he has a lead, he tends to go away from his. I feel like CMC is a difference maker, and the way that he did last game, they had the lead in the Super Bowl that you're talking about,
right?
And they continue to pass,
right?
When you pass and it's an incomplete pass, the clock stops. You give the other team not only the ebb and flow, but you start giving them confidence, and then the momentum changes, and it's up to you to be able to withstand that. Now, when you give the other team confidence, you already got a quarterback over there who's been the MVP a couple of times, and he's a winner.
With a running back like CMC, there's no reason for the 49ers not to run the ball. Because
you would think that.
You would think that.
But he did the same thing when they had the lead in when Atlanta versus the Patriots.
And that's
he was offensive coordinator then.
Yeah.
Because they end up. Brian Cox, don't you?
Yeah, I played with Brian Cox down in Miami.
Yeah,
linebacker.
He got fired because he was going after them. He got fired literally right after the game because he was I think he was the D-line coach for the Falcons, and they went after him because he kept passing throughout that game and gave the Patriots the momentum to come back.
Well, if anybody's going to make, because Andy Reid's been here before, Patrick Mahomes has been here before. They've been here, done that, so they have a grasp of what kind of mentality they need to enter into this game with, how to handle the day, because they wake up today. The game's not until it's here 3 o'clock here on the West Coast, but it's not so there's a routine they've been able to acclimate themselves
you could-
with, as opposed to the 49ers
No,
and
no, but
Purdy
they-
and those guys. They've been there.
Yeah, but
they've been there.
they've been there a few years
But
ago.
if they're more like, if anyone who's more likely to make any mistakes based on the intensity of the situation,
it's probably the 49ers.
there you go.
Well,
There you go.
they've been complaining all week. They've even brought up the birds. Throughout.
Why?
I don't.
Why?
I don't know. They've been
Who brought
complaining.
up the birds?
They've been complaining about the field, as the practice field and stuff. I was like, dude, everybody's playing on the same
Yes,
field. They got
yeah.
a neutral person
I
who's
hate
doing
when
the
people
ground.
do that.
Yeah, it's like it's just a
Making
reason,
excuses.
a reason to bitch.
But it's
Yeah.
making excuses.
Yeah.
So
it's like
what?
You get out, and it's practice.
We used to listen.
Man, we
used
talking
to
about practice.
we talk about practice. We used to when I played in New England. I don't know how much it's worth as far as information, but we would get, if we fell down as a wide receiver,
Mhm.
we would get fined.
Oh.
So know your surroundings, know what the turf requires in
Right.
terms of your cleats, and bring the proper cleats and get out there and play ball. You should not fall down as a wide receiver. We would get fined.
We played the ground was lava.
It doesn't matter.
Well, no,
But
it's like
everybody's on the same ground.
Yeah, but it's like we play. But that's what Jim Johnson would do is say the ground is like lava. Get up! What are you laying on the ground for? Get up! The ground is like hot lava. I didn't realize what he was
Hot
talking.
lava.
But then I was at a preschool. I was doing a career day and it was at a school. It was pre-K through 8th. And I happened to walk in on the preschools and they was playing the ground is lava. I was like, oh God. I jumped in it. Found myself.
Just jump up in the air.
Yeah, I jumped up in the chair. But it was like
And how did the kids view that, seeing this big gargantuous man jump up in a chair?
Because the ground was lava. They knew I was playing the game with them.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
So, but now it was it's the
So what should we expect today, big dog? I mean, is this game going to be a back and forth type game where,
I know it. I'm not.
with quite a bit of scoring?
I
Is
know
it going
what
to be exciting like that, or
It's
is it
gonna
going to
be
be?
it's gonna be Taylor Swift exciting.
Man, nobody cares nothing about no Taylor Swift. I am so. Anybody here who's sick of hearing about Taylor Swift? Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Everybody raising their hand. Yeah.
They better be.
They better be. What? Why did you bring her up? For what?
Because that's what everybody else is going to be looking for.
For what?
Everybody's looking for that one moment when Travis Kelce scores. They're going to pan the camera to her. Not only that, a lot of people are looking for. Some people are looking for commercials, and then some people
Right.
can't wait
I understand the
until
commercial
Usher,
thing. Yeah.
to Usher.
Yeah, I understand
the
Usher
halftime.
thing. Yeah. And listen, you bringing up Taylor Swift, but Kelce, Kittle, we're looking at the two best
The
tight
tight
ends in the league
Yeah.
right now. We're looking at and having the opportunity to observe Kelce, who is, when it comes to catching balls in the postseason, he's the GOAT right now. He just surpassed Jerry Rice.
Yeah, Jerry Rice.
And he's a tight end. He's not a
Yes.
wide receiver. So hats off to him, man. He's been balling. He has not let this Taylor Swift stuff, hinder his ability to play or fog his mind up and keep him from producing on the field. In fact, it's been somewhat of an inspiration, I'm sure, to him, like it has been to a lot of people. But it's an exciting game. I think it's the two teams that should be here. I think these two teams, in my opinion, they're the best two teams in the league right now. It turned out right. Sometimes in the playoffs, a lesser team can beat a team because they're just a little bit off. But
it's
then
not a
the
lesser
best
team. It wasn't a lesser team. It's just that team got hot.
Right,
it's like, we were talking earlier.
Well, they're not quite as good. Not as talented.
But if they get to the game, it's like you were saying earlier. You don't know when you're going to get back there, especially if you're not quite as talented. You get. I had not an interview, but our pregame speech one time was given by Mr. Avery Johnson.
Oh, Avery?
Avery Johnson.
Country Avery?
Yeah, Avery Johnson. And his
I can imagine what that sounded like. But Avery is funny, man.
But the subject of his speech was like one of the best subjects ever. He says, seize the second. You don't know when you're ever going to be in this moment again.
That's right.
He's like, you're supposed to seize the second. Just like when you get opportunity to get on the field, you seize that second because you don't know when you're going to be able to get out. You don't want that. You want the lasting impression of people to be a good one. And so you seize the second.
And that's true in life.
Yes.
Seize the second, seize the moment. Because
I know it's Sunday, but you don't have to turn into a preacher.
I'm not. You know who I am. That's what I do, man. This is a word of inspiration.
Okay.
It's not biblical necessarily, but
it's close to it though. But go ahead, give it to the people.
But no, just seize the second because like 10 seconds ago, we'll never see that again.
Well,
we'll never see that ever in the history of the world again. So when you have the opportunity, rise to the occasion, seize the second because once it passes you, it's gone. It's in the past. It never comes back. You can never recapture it.
Yeah. And it's like, this is one of those things where you look at the 49ers, they have a lot of guys on the first time, but we didn't talk about the Chiefs have a lot of guys. It's that they're rookies. There's a lot of rookies there too.
Again, the Chiefs right now, their starting defense is the youngest defense
like 24,
in the league.
25.
Yeah, the youngest defense in the league, which moving forward in future seasons is kind of scary because these cats they're real young right now, the youngest defense in the league. So
and they're going to get better too. So.
And they're going to get better. You got those corners, man, Snead and McDuffie. They're shut down corners right now. They've done a great job in handling some of these
some of the big name receivers,
big name receivers, more talented receivers, and they're only giving up in the playoffs 13 points a game.
Yeah, and that's what
you can win with that.
Yeah, you can win. With that, especially with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes.
You can win with that.
And a lot of people that their offensive line is big and physical. I thought they were going to miss a step when the starting center went out.
Right,
but they didn't miss a beat. And Prosecco has been handling his business, and the young number 25 is back, and he's a threat as well.
And shout out to Trent Williams on the offensive line, man.
That's 49ers, yeah.
Well,
he's been through,
he's been through. Shout out to him. It's a great story.
You know, it's a great story, but at some point, somebody has got to talk about him not being that smart on the football field. Just doing random stupid, can't get right
penalties.
Random 15-yard penalties for absolutely nothing.
Well, he's touted as one of the better offensive linemen in the league right now. Multiple Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I still think he's a little stupid though. It's just like. Stupid and selfish.
Stupid is what stupid does.
Yes, Mr. Dumas.
But shout out to him though, just for being here. And this is his opportunity.
That's
now.
His second time in a row. Well, not in a row, but in 4 years. He was with him last time.
Right, but I'm saying it's just another opportunity for him to win a Super Bowl.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised
he didn't get thrown out of the Green Bay game.
He was almost. They were telling him to pack his bags as far as his life was concerned, the doctors, and, say his goodbyes before the surgery to his family. So here he is now playing in the Super Bowl. Man, that's got to be that's just tremendous. Yeah, that's tremendous.
Well,
great story.
It's a great story. Yeah, but he's still a knucklehead.
I could go somewhere with that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it though. But listen, anybody have any questions for us?
Yeah,
I know you're watching right now. Just throw them in the comments and see if we can address them. It is the weather since we've been out here. I mean, we're looking out the window right now. I can see mountains with snow caps on them. Yeah, and it's been chilly since we've been out here. Matter of fact, it's been colder here on the West Coast in Vegas than it has been back in Jersey and Philly these last few days. I mean, that's why I have my little beanie hat on. That's why, well, you sweat no matter what.
Don't get mad because I wasn't sweating and you was. The first time for everything out.
But you lived here for a year.
Yes.
Right? Was the weather like this all the time? It's always like this?
Well, around this time, it gives you a week or two of this, but then it starts to warm back up and go to the 60s and 70s and stuff. Because I think it was end of March or the beginning of April, I had a free camp for kids in the youth football league here. And I brought out like a bunch of my guys. It was pool weather by then. So
okay.
It's like this is the time where you get those systems that weather travels from west to east, and one of the events today is the very first weekly weather report was.
Are you just flew right now? Hollis's history of Hollis.
Are you
gonna do it right now?
I can do it right now.
Okay. You started it, so you didn't give me a chance to throw it to you.
Okay.
Go ahead and do. We're going to do history with Hollis.
Yeah, history with Hollis is brought to you by Travel True Fans Travel. Go to truefanstravel.com. I'm about to go over to a big balling as tailgate before I come back over here for the watch party. Today is February the 11th. 2024. It's the 42nd day of the year. There's 324 of these suckers remaining.
It's slowly but surely fading away again. Before you know, we'll be right back in the Super Bowl down in New Orleans next year.
Is it New Orleans next year?
New Orleans.
Oh, happy, joy.
Yeah.
We're going to start with national holidays. Today is National Autism Sunday.
Nice.
Yes. And it could also be Electric Day. That means be good, be electric, be awesome, be electric.
Be electric.
Yes.
Is that the song? That's what the song means?
It's electric. Boogie, oogie.
Yeah, is that what it means?
A little bit.
Okay.
Today is also National Man's Day.
Today is National Man's Day. Do I have any men in the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the women can't let us have one day. It's also International Girls and Women in Science Day.
In science?
In science, yes.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, and Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day.
Okay.
And then today is also Latte Day. And and it's also a Peppermint Patty Day.
Peppermint Patty.
Yes, the taste sensation of biting into a York peppermint patty. Delicious.
Delicious.
It's also today is Super Bowl Sunday and satisfied staying single day. It's all, but it's
So
also
do you want to elaborate on that?
what is satisfied with staying single day.
Yeah,
But it's also
because you're single.
Yes, it's also National World of Marriage Day.
How can it be both?
Well, because you don't want to leave the single people out.
Well, sounds like you mentioned the single people first, so it sounded like you didn't want to leave the married people out.
Well, because I'm single, so I do what I want.
That's why you're single too.
It's also
That's why you're single.
It's chicken wing day, just because you do what your wife tells you.
Well, I do that. I do that.
We got some events real quick here today. As I said earlier, it's 1878. It's the first weekly weather report was published in the UK today.
In the UK,
yes, we're published in the UK because a lot of the stuff that comes from over there. Because we were the whole shebang.
That's what we do.
Yes, in 1895, Georgetown became a part of Washington D.C. In 1916 rather, Emma Goldman was arrested for lecturing about birth control.
They've been fighting about that since 1916. Huh?
Yeah, but it was just she was teaching. So oh man, but
wow.
In 1942, the Archie comic book made its debut. You remember the Archie?
Yes. Yep.
Yes. In 1968, Madison Square Garden III was closed. Then they opened up Madison Square Garden IV in New York City, and
that's the one that still remains.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
1998. The television station here, KVBC-FM of Las Vegas, they paid Monica Lewinsky $5 million for an interview.
Wow.
For an interview.
I wonder that important what they wanted to hear from her.
I wonder what she was talking about.
Well, we know what she was talking about. Wow. $5 million?
$5 million. So
is that legal?
Yes, they do that. They do that.
No, I know it's legal.
So then I got today's birthdays are one of my favorite actors, Burt Reynolds, rest his soul, 1936. Today, 1962, Sheryl Crow. 1964, Sarah Palin. Heard she had a thing with Glenn Rice, but that's all. 1969, Jennifer Addison. 1994, singer D'Angelo. 1979, wait a minute, ain't that Brandy's brother? Brandy Norwood. Mm-hmm. And then 1981, Kelly Rowland. In 1998, Khalid, the singer, not the DJ.
Not the DJ.
Khalid, the singer, yes. That's what This Day in History with Hollis Thomas on Vetted Show from Chicky and Pete's in Las Vegas at the Super Bowl is brought to you by True Fans Travel. TrueFansTravel.com. And don't forget to go get our apparel from PhillySportsShirts.com. We got the Vetted shirt on there. Pretty soon we're going to get some A2D gear up there. We just got to get our own tab. But go to Philly Sports Shirts and click the Hollis tab.
Yeah, get a discount. Yeah, 15% off. Say Hollis sent you.
Just say I sent you.
You mentioned Monica Lewinsky being paid $5 million
for an interview.
Yeah. That kind of brought back to my remembrance that the system.
Cigar?
No. In the legal system,
right? You
can pay an expert witness any amount of money,
right,
to come and testify on your behalf.
Yeah. That's why
that is so. Well, that is so crooked.
I know, but that's why the jails are so filled with people who can't afford
expert witnesses to come and say whatever you want them to say.
They can't afford what people call a quality defense.
Well, that's what I did. Expert witnesses, quality of defense. Yeah, if you don't have any money, you don't have a chance in court these days.
No, you don't.
Wow, that's sad. So listen, man.
What's up?
You got a prediction?
My prediction is pain. No, my prediction.
Well, that too.
My prediction is I think this is going to be a start off as like a really good game, kind of a borderline shootout. As like with one team rearing this ugly head and faltering, which I feel like the 49ers are going to falter because I think they have too many holes in their defense and they've been exploited on the run versus the run.
Yes.
Yeah, and if Green Bay had kept running, they would have supplanted.
Might have won the game.
Yeah, they may have won the game, but then there was some other guys that missed some passes. I don't feel like that the Chiefs are going to make that mistake, and I feel like Mahomes is going to he's going to lead them to victory. So. 7. I'm gonna take the over 7.
If you were playing right now on one of these two teams, which team would prefer to play on? Which which team would you prefer to be playing for right now? If you
probably the Chiefs, because it's close to my hometown, but it's far enough away where nobody could just I'm coming over your house. No, you ain't. It's a 3 or 4 hour. It's a 3-hour drive.
Well,
so it's like, but also I know a lot of the coaching staff, and when the familiarity and then the way that he deploys the defenses, I will be like, and I know Spag's defense like the back of my hand.
Right.
Pause. But I know. But now it's like you look at it, and I know that Tommy Brazier is still around the team and stuff, and he was like one of my best teachers in this game. So Tommy, he was he was out there in New England with you guys.
Yep. If I had a chance to play with any quarterback close to the caliber, I mean, I played with Dan Marino, he's a Hall of Famer, but all the rest of the quarterbacks, 18 other ones that I played with, were either average or less than below average.
Yeah.
So if I had an opportunity to play with a Patrick Mahomes, that kind of quarterback, man, I would give my left foot to play with that guy. I mean, because he makes it happen, and he makes it happen for his receivers. He makes his receivers better. We know they were floundering around earlier this year, dropping balls, but the balls that they were dropping, they were open.
Yeah,
it wasn't they weren't necessarily being challenged. They were balls that they obviously should have caught.
Yeah, because they were right in their hands.
They were right in their hands,
for the most part.
And Patrick Mahomes does that. Anytime you hear someone say, "Oh, receiver made a great catch," well, he made a great catch because it was a bad throw.
Yeah,
that's why it was a great catch. But these cats were dropping balls that they should have caught. But that was a Patrick Mahomes thing, putting the ball right in their hands where it needed to be between the numbers. So if I had an opportunity to play with Patrick Mahomes, man, I would do it all over again and do the best that I could to make us all look good. But I have to go with the Chiefs like you.
Yeah.
It's just the pedigree is there. You can't, like you said, it boils down to the quarterbacks in big games like this. Not even big games like this. Games, just period, in the NFL. The quarterbacks that play the best, the quarterbacks that know the most, the quarterbacks that are able to respond and make adjustments along the way, which Patrick Mahomes has always been able to do from the time he set foot in the NFL.
He never cracks under pressure.
He never cracks. He just gets better. He gets better under pressure. The more you throw at him, the better he becomes.
Yeah.
And that's just a quality that you can't insert into anyone. They either have it or they don't. We don't know if Purdy has it or not. This is Purdy's biggest game. The biggest game of his career is today.
But he did show promise in the last 2 playoff games, coming back and kind of handling his business a little bit. But I think the defense that he was playing against, they kind of allowed him to.
Weren't the defense he's going to see today.
Yeah, it wasn't the defense, the caliber defense he's going to see today.
Right.
And I think the defense really for the Chiefs is kind of pissed off because everybody's talking about the 49ers and they're stroking Purdy like nobody's business. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially when he was part of the MVP conversation and everybody's been making a big deal of it.
Right. Well, people tout Purdy as a system quarterback.
Well,
every quarterback, first of all, any offense that a quarterback is running, you can look at Tom Brady. It's got to be a system that he can function highly in.
Yeah, it's called Spygate.
For them it was. But what I'm saying is, every quarterback has a system built around him.
Right.
So every quarterback that plays in the league, just like you look at Jalen Hurts, RPOs.
Right.
You use that kind of system because that's what he functions the highest in. And any quarterback who's running an offense, that offense is built around him, his capabilities, his ability, what he does the best, and they put him in a position to do what he does best more times than not.
Basically, you said the coaches are being coaches and putting the guy in a position to win.
Right. Unlike another team we know about.
Unlike what we were doing the second half of the season.
Yeah, I got green on. I'm representing today. I don't know who you're representing. Are you representing the Qs today? Omega Psi Phi? You got purple on.
I just thought this looked good.
Oh, okay. Well, purple does look good. My favorite color.
It's a color of royalty.
Yes, sir. Royalty.
Yes. Do you know why it's color of royalty? Because it was hard to acquire and hard to keep clean back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So that's why kings would wear purple. That's what's going to be purple and gold is going to be in heaven.
Ah, okay.
You see the mics are purple and gold?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
You noticed that?
Yes, I know.
Did you know why?
Is it because I'm going to hell? I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, not if I have anything to do with it. You're not going to hell, brother.
Okay.
That ain't happening.
Okay.
If I got to get you on the deathbed and get you to say, Jesus, save me.
Jesus always saves me. He stops me from doing a lot of questions.
There you go. There you go. That means when you have that kind of battle, that means there is something in there.
There's no battle. He said, Big Dog, don't do that. I say, okay, I'm going home.
Well, if the opposite had his way, you just go ahead and do it. It wouldn't be no Big Dog, don't do it. Just go do it, Big Dog.
Oh, okay. Is that other voice?
Yeah. There you go.
The other voice.
That's
like,
the other voice.
The other voice as I'm walking away, he's like, you should have did it. You should have did it.
That's the battle. But if you got a battle like that, you're good.
It's no battle. And when the man, when Jesus say, "Big Dog, don't do it," I just that's normally my first instinct. Is like, well, it's time to go.
Well, you just have to differentiate between the two voices, which one you're listening to. That's all.
I kind of listen to both of them, but God, the good Lord gives us choices.
Well, yes, He does.
I tend to err on the side of right.
That's good too, yeah. And He is a forgiving God.
I don't want to abuse the privilege though.
No, you don't.
Everybody's like, please forgive me, God.
No,
like,
you don't. No,
this is your sixth time today, man. What are you doing?
That'll it won't run out as far as God is concerned, but it might be a pause on the forgiveness as far as God is concerned. Oh, listen, we done for the day?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, okay. Taylor Swift says.
Who said Taylor Swift's on? Taylor Swift's not on here. James, yeah.
Yeah, my boy James.
Taylor Swift says what?
31.
29. Okay, well, I mean, you're gonna give a score?
I was the score. Let's see, you got to get 47. 47 is the over.
Oh no. Yep.
So I'm gonna say, 35 to 28 Chiefs.
35-28 Chiefs. You think they're gonna score that many points?
Yeah, but I think they're gonna get a cheap touchdown in the end. I think the 49ers are going to get a cheap touchdown in the end. I think they're going to. I think the one thing that I know that they're going to come out like house of fires, and you just got to withstand the battle. But it's going to be the halftime adjustments that Spags can make, and then not only that is the adjustments that Patrick Mahomes makes. He's like one of the better savants of offenses in football because I don't know how he does it, but he's a keen character.
28-24 Chiefs. Here's what I don't want to happen, because when this kind of thing happens, it really just kind of takes away from the bigness of the game or the moment of whatever game it is, whether it's a playoff game, whether it's Aaron Rodgers,
right,
first play, 2 plays, 3 plays into the season and he gets hurt, that somebody doesn't get hurt like that.
Right.
That's a significant player in the game. I don't want to see any injuries. I don't want to see someone who's going to have or would have had a great impact on the game go down in the game. Then you have the same kind of conversations they had last year with the NFC Championship.
If this would have been there, I was like, no. Yeah. But I thought you were going a different route with that. I just don't want the officials to have anything to do with this. Call a good, clean game. Be the one convenient thing about the game, and don't make stupid calls and don't miss calls. You may miss a few calls here and there, but don't let it affect the play. It's like,
can you imagine the officials? They find out 2 weeks ago that they're going to be officiating this game. Can you imagine the butterflies they have in their belly right now?
Well, this is the first female official to officiate a Super Bowl is going to be out there too. I forgot.
And the first player who played in the Super Bowl.
That.
We have that going on today as well. And he's the head guy.
Don't mess this up.
Don't mess it up. Yeah, you don't want the officials to have a negative or even a positive impact on the outcome of the game.
Well, it's kind of like when you're a kid back in the day, you're supposed to be seen and not heard. You're like, hey, was anybody talking to you, little boy?
I think if it's questionable, if it's a questionable call, in my mind, if I were a referee, I'm not throwing the flag.
Yeah,
just let them play. Let them play.
But if it's blatant, you got to.
Well, if it's blatant, you got to make the call, because guess what? Everybody's going to see it, and you didn't make the call, and that obviously can have an impact, positive for one team, negative for the other team, in terms of the outcome of the game. So if it's blatant, you got. But like I said, if it's a questionable call, I'm not throwing the flag.
Right.
I'm not going to let the guys play. Let them, if it's obvious, it's got to be, for me, it would have to be something out. Obvious.
I don't want to see a call made and a guy's flailing or doing some acting job. We don't need to see that type of crap going on. Yeah. But it's just like you said, if it's blatant and egregious, you have to make the call.
Right. So listen, thanks everybody for tuning in with us today.
On A2D Radio.
We know it's Sunday. But you were here with us. I'm going there.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, you do it.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah, you do it. Go
I'd
ahead.
like to thank everybody for chilling with us on A2D Radio on the show Vetted straight from Las Vegas around the Super Bowl at Chicky and Pete's at the Sahara Casino and Hotel Resort and Spa.
You did it right. You got it going on.
Yes.
So listen, y'all enjoy the game.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us, for tuning in. We know we were surprised today. Caught you by surprise, but
Yes.
thank you.
Well, on this, when we do the recap on Thursday, if anybody listening, let me know how many chicken wings you ate. I'm gonna take account of how many that I down, and
You gonna keep counting how many you down?
I kind of sort. I'm gonna try to.
You know how many chicken wings I'm gonna eat today?
Probably none.
None.
Is it because we had the wings twice already?
No, just none. I don't know. I don't have an appetite.
I'm gonna destroy at least 20. and that's just breakfast alone. I'm just saying. So remember on Thursday, Thursday,
y'all pray for him. Pray for him.
I want to be with the people. With the people. Yeah, with the people.
Give the people what they want when they want.
Well, I'll be with TL, so he might deter me from eating a bunch of wings, but I highly doubt it.
Well, that's the second. You're going to a tailgate,
Yeah,
then you're coming back to the watch party.
Game, yeah.
He's going to be at the watch party.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be with you at the watch party, so I'll help temper you.
Yeah, by the time I get there, I'll probably be ate about 30 or 40 anyway.
Mm.
you know because I have I often carry I don't carry condoms, I carry wet naps because I'm more inclined to run into a 20-piece wing dinner than I am a sexual encounter. But I thought we were circle the trust.
That's enough.
Okay.
Pepto-Bismol, Alka-Seltzer, that's what you need.
I carry that with me.
Okay, good.
I carry it with me.
Yeah. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Listen, we're out of here today. Thanks for joining us here on A2D Radio. This is Vetted. Irving Fryar, Big Dog Hollis Thomas. We will see you Thursday. Listen, we're starting Thursday at 8 p.m. Don't look for us at 5. We're churning at 8 p.m. on Thursdays from this point forward. We'll see you all after the game. We hope your team wins. Peace.